Oi pessoal, Rusty here. I'm glad I finally found the time to make a new video, and since I'm rarely posting anything new, I thought it would be a good idea to talk about adverbs of frequency. I just want to mention that there's no such a thing as advérbios de frequência in Portuguese. There are many different other classifications of adverbs, but we are translating the ones in English to Portuguese so you know how to use them. Let's get started. So first I'm going to talk about them in order and also give you some expressions that give the idea of frequency, and then I can give you some examples. And then you can try your own. So first we have always, in Portuguese, sempre. After that we have a group with usually, often, and frequently. Usually, we normally translate to geralmente. Frequently, frequentemente. This one is pretty easy to remember. And then often, which is also frequentemente or com frequência. Then we have sometimes. Sometimes is translated to às vezes, or de vez em quando, or de quando em quando. There are many expressions that we can use to translate sometimes, but I think the most used is às vezes. In the next group we have occasionally, seldom, hardly ever, and rarely. Occasionally in Portuguese could be translated to esporadicamente or eventualmente. And since eventualmente is very similar to eventually, people who speak Portuguese normally make this mistake to think that eventually means eventualmente when it doesn't. So now you know that the equivalent to eventualmente is occasionally. Then we have rarely and seldom. Both of them would be translated to raramente. And this one is easier to remember because it's quite similar to rarely. I even thought of making a video talking about the adverbs that end in ly, and in Portuguese are translated to something with mente in the end, but that's gonna be postponed, and I hope to make this video really soon. Okay, now back to where we left. We're talking about the expression hardly ever, and hardly ever in Portuguese is quase nunca, which leads us to never, which is nunca. With that being said, we have some other expressions of frequency. For example, diariamente, daily, semanalmente, weekly, quinzenalmente, which is every 15 days or every 2 weeks, or twice a month, and then mensalmente, monthly, and now yearly, which is annualmente. So we have all of these expressions, and then you could say as well, like uma vez por semana, once a week, uma, duas, três, quatro, cinco vezes por semana, or vezes por mês, or vezes ao dia, or vezes por ano. I said vezes ao dia because I normally say it this way, but you can also say vezes por dia. Now we are ready to talk about some examples. First with always. Eu sempre almoço ao meio-dia. I always have lunch at noon. Let me see, something with sometimes. Às vezes eu vou à praia. Sometimes I go to the beach. One with often. I often go to the dentist. Eu vou ao dentista frequentemente. One with rarely. Eles me visitam raramente. They rarely visit me. With never, we could say, Eles nunca foram à França. They have never been to France. Daily, we could say, Você deveria beber 8 copos de água diariamente. You should drink 8 glasses of water daily. And last but not least, we could say yearly. Eu encontro os meus amigos da escola anualmente. I made my school friends yearly. So this is a wrap. I hope you liked it, and I will see you in my next video. Ciao, ciao.